Okay. Well, this is take two of my video about vibration and what is the vibration of receiving and the vibration of giving. I'm living alone here in the jungle cloud forest of West Panama near the coast of Costa Rica. I'm living here as a hermit. I do occasionally have contact with my father and my daughter, but other than that, I am basically always alone. I do have a house. It's not like that I live in a cave or that I live in a tent. I even have electricity and internet connection, but I don't eat in restaurants. I I grow some of my food. I have my own chicken. Sometimes I go to supermarket. Most of the time, once every 2 weeks or so. I have to drive with a chauffeur because I don't have a driver's license. So that is my contact maybe with a chauffeur. Um, to town, 2 hours away from here. Other than that, I'm always alone. It is very quiet in my house. I do have 7 cats and I do have a dog. Okay, back to the energy question. Because I am alone so often and so much, I get to combat all loneliness, and then at some point I have conquered loneliness. I never feel lonely anymore. I don't know how I did it. I always used to feel lonely. I always used to run from one relationship to the next relationship until my last relationship really literally almost caused me to die because of codependency. You hear all these stories that people have relationship with alcoholics, but this time I was the one who started drinking too much in order to deal with all the negative feelings that I had in that relationship. So I made a promise to myself to never abandon myself anymore in that relationship. I highly abandoned all of everything that I was and everything that I stand for. I abandoned my self-love. I abandoned my dignity, especially my dignity basically. Yeah, I became a drama queen. I did all sorts of crazy things to to stop this person from silence treating me when I did something that he did not like. And withdrawing love, giving love, withdrawing love, and playing around until I literally got crazy. So now in this year, oh my God, it's been a year that I am single and living alone in this house, all alone in Panama. I don't have a job where I'm in contact with people. Mm, energy. Yeah, I keep on sidetracking, right? It's not often that I get to talk so much. Um, energy, the receiving versus giving. I notice that when I am in contact with people, which now still occasionally happens, is when I talk about energy, relationships, and everything. That people, especially that try to 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 receive. When you have a relationship with somebody, you want to get something out of it, right? You want to get love, you want to get attention, you want to get all these things. And even when I'm talking, like when I'm listening to some YouTube videos, that's how I discovered it. When I'm listening to YouTube videos, they always say like you have to hang out with people who have a high vibration, right? people that can contribute to raising your own frequency. But when you think about it, it's still about receiving. Like they have a high frequency. So you want to receive something out of it. Now, the next level of consciousness is actually that you're the one who is the one with high frequency, and you're the one that people want to hang out with when they want to raise their frequency. It's like the ghoul that lives in a cave, and it's very difficult. You hear all these stories. It's very difficult for other people to meet this person, because this person all the time is alone. And then when people try to visit him, he shoos them away, and then until you ask the right question or something like that. And I get that, because you have all these low frequency or medium frequency people. That was a fly, a big one. That wanna get something out of that guru. Oh, that fly is annoying. I don't know why, but in Panama the flies wanna hang out with people instead of just sticking on the window. Anyway. But when you are at this tipping point in your own life where you raise your own frequency, you are at some level, you're at like a tipping point. You are a higher frequency, but as soon as you even just smell people, who are like complaining, or like, oh my god, in this relationship I have this and this, and oh, he doesn't do what I want, it can pull you back. So therefore, I have this plea, if anyone could ever do this, to spend some time alone, because it allows you to raise above that tipping point, where at some point when they come to you like, oh, I want to attract $5,000 because I want to get a facelift. I look so ugly. Then it doesn't. Then it bounces off. It doesn't enter your trigger points because you have like less, and people sometimes think like, oh, you one day you are low frequency, the next day you something triggers inside of you, and then suddenly you're enlightened. That is not true. You have all these trigger points, and then maybe you have 100, and then one day you have 95, and then you have 80, and then you have 75. It is a gradual process where you with your awareness can see all those trigger points, and especially when you're alone. But it doesn't happen overnight. Even when you're alone, it doesn't happen like, oh, I'm alone one day and now it's got to happen. I've been alone now for a year, and now it starts to happen. Like, I notice in my mind, oh my god, I was just triggered. And then when you're in the middle of something and you're not aware, then you just get caught up in the drama, or then you think like, oh my god, this person said so and so, now I feel bad, this person just insulted me, gave me a bad feeling, this person caused me to feel bad. And then at some point you realize like, okay, how am I supposed how I am supposed to feel is that I'm responsible for my own feelings. Okay. Then you think to yourself like, oh, I'm responsible for my own feelings. But then something happens and you feel bad and you know that uh you're supposed to not be triggered, but you are. It happens that you feel double bad. But that's only in the beginning. Yeah. And then giving it versus receiving, right? um you have these breathing exercises, like you breathe in the good stuff, the rainbows, and then you breathe out all your clouds, your gray, and you're breathing light, and you breathe out gray. You're still trying to get something, even in that exercise. Yeah. So years ago, like maybe 25 years ago, I read in a book. I'm sorry, sometimes I just wave with my arms because of that fly. Years ago, I read in this book from Osho about, your at some point, your vibration is so high that you breathe in the shit from the world, because you have, I'm just going somewhere else because this is going crazy. Because you have the ability, whatever you breathe in, the gray of the planet, the shit of the planet, that you can breathe that in, and then transform that into rainbows, and you breathe out rainbows. Yeah, so that is receiving versus giving. Did you get to a point in your life where you are so abundant that you can breathe out rainbows? And that abundance is another type of abundance, um, than having abundance of money, abundance of relationships, abundance of health, even. Although I realize that when you raise your vibration, automatically you raise your sense of well-being. I think that is a better explanation than just plain health. Sense of well-being. In this sense of well-being, you're just meditating that you are a beacon of light to others, instead of having all the angels around you sending you love and light and giving you a golden shield. um Although that is nice, but I anyone ever in the world who sees this, I hope that I get my point across. Ciao.